People hyped up and waiting for us, okay?
Okay, it started.
It did? Is it on the right link?
Yep. Wait like 2 seconds.
Hey!
3, 2,
That's
1.
That's what you get for complaining to me.
3,
Hey,
works.
I don't like this theme.
It's crappy engines.
It was Mike's
it's-
idea.
Hey, don't drag me into this, okay? I'm the fullester stack web developer. What are you?
I am. Oh God, what? How did
You
you,
just got
evolve?
I evolved.
Damn it!
All right, stream it. We're gonna tag everyone. I'm gonna wait a little bit before you tag everyone until we actually have a decent amount of people in here. Half stack web developer. Why are you muted, Matthew?
Bro, you took my idea. I was about to do that. I was literally typing it in, the half stack web developer.
He's been like that for like since yesterday.
Did you see Artist? Apparently he doesn't understand the joke.
Well, maybe if Artist actually did something.
Okay, there we go.
Look at his name. It's actual full stack web developer. Like, okay, but you obviously don't understand what we're making fun of.
Oh no, K9 has full as stack web developer.
Oh no.
Yeah, it did me. All right, fullest or rest.
You're gonna run out of characters.
I'm here.
I'm still kicking it though. Fullest or rest. Beat that. Hey guys, while you're at it, would you mind liking and subscribing to the YouTube video? Thank you. All right. Well, we're just gonna wait a minute till we actually have a couple more people in here.
Indeed.
So I'm gonna be a full est stack web developer. Stack web developer.
Not working anymore. Oh god.
Landon.
Yo.
Okay, I was just your mic is tweaking out right now.
It's not. He's just spamming push to talk.
Oh.
Yeah, because you guys have the freaking push to talk enabled on here, and it's annoying.
Wait, why is it push to talk enabled on here?
I don't know.
Leads. Use voice attack. Yeah, whatever. Push to talk is off.
Yay.
I'm going to let's see. Who's the most important here? Okay, you.
Probably Matthew.
No, yeah, you're getting priority speak.
Ooh.
You get priority speak?
Callie, Patriot, priority speaker.
What? I'm not the.
Okay, fine. You don't want to be it? Then no.
I don't know if that's.
You almost had an honor.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep on doing this while I wait for people to come in.
There's not much of a point to have that. We need to have all the voices equal so we can yell at each other.
What'd you say to me?
Huh?
What?
I can't hear you.
Sorry, can you hear me now by Verizon?
You're not even peeking.
There you go.
Okay.
Forgot to plug in my my microphone.
Did that peak it?
Yeah, that peaked pretty hard.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Add everyone in the panel committee.
Oh wow, you really didn't have to change that much to add the back end, did you?
Nope, I did not.
Oh, that's nice.
It actually took a lot longer to find the things I needed to change than it did to change them.
Gotcha. Oh, did you just end up rewriting half of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like.
Are we talking the very, very elongated engine?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Me neither.
The engine that is taking way too long.
Hey, it only takes too long if you're expecting it to come out anytime soon.
Exactly. We have plans. They're just bad plans.
We became full stack web developers for you, all right?
Okay.
All right.
Imagine needing a web end on your engine.
Yep.
Yep, imagine. Oh, I'm just autistic. No? Am I? Let's see.
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
Hey guys.
It's Weeb.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I was here the entire time.
We can actually start this. We're 7 minutes in and we're doing about nothing.
Is it on YouTube yet?
Yes.
It's
We are currently live.
Tag everyone.
Oh yeah, tag everyone.
Do we have enough
Bro,
Tag
people?
everyone?
In
stream
announcements.
That is useful as
Okay.
Weeb. Have the screens
Who's
been
streaming this
updated
on?
on the bot?
Shiver.
What?
You're streaming it.
Yep.
What's that GIF in the bottom right?
Ask iMac.
I have no idea what you're talking
I
about.
said, do you have a GIF to replace the anime one? And he's like, yeah, here.
Panel is live.
Yo, I thought the theme was gonna be 4618 versus 0169.
That's a lot harder than it sounds.
You could just use someone's website. I can't say who, but it was a very beautiful website.
Yes.
Bruh, 16. It went from 10 to 16 people watching.
Yep. That's what happens when you tag everyone.
Very nice.
21. Bro, we got Nathan Lowe. We got Tech Grid Gaming. I want to check this YouTube channel out. Tech Grid Gaming. Go-to channel.
So ghetto.
What is?
The way I did the YouTube chat.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I popped out the chat. I wonder if the actual chat box is working. Let me see. Nope. Well, that's actually the only reason I was using Streamlabs anyway. Was for the chat box. So
We can actually, do something.
No.
No.
Okay.
Jesus, HTML is just so annoying to use. Chance of this actually working is -0.
Lighthouse immediately comes in. Is the panel over?
Oh.
It lasted 11 minutes. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, I think it's the longest one yet.
Okay, I mean, that works, I guess. My code works, it's ugly.
What does it do?
It makes two buttons right next to each other.
Oh.
Imagine being not CST.
What are you on about?
The general chat. freaking Guido is.
So in the YouTube chat, someone ask questions.
Someone ask questions.
I'm still confused.
Those of you
have
watching
the
can start asking
categories.
questions.
Yeah, we have nothing better to do.
I'm still confused. Have the Vuln categories not been released, or am I being trolled by my coach?
Wait, have they actually not been released yet?
The Vuln categories for round 2 will
they're going to be released the weekend of round 3.
That's the most retarded crap I've ever heard in my life.
Be released the week after round 3. The email said December, not the week of December.
What's the point of that?
Are there cute girls at nationals?
Artie, you'll never know.
Oof.
Oh, get roasted, Artie. Oh. Alright, how many images will be on state platinum round? 3 images.
3, it's the same 3.
Well, Ubuntu, it's 16 instead of 14, but then Windows 10 in 2016.
There's only WN and semifinals. For state round, there's only 1 Linux image.
Wait, is there any round where there's 2 Linux images?
Yeah.
Yeah, last one.
Oh.
That was semifinals. Not last one.
Yeah.
We have 2 guys on Linux. Me and another guy, and one guy has like 5 monitors.
Dude, when I was doing Linux last year, I think I was rocking 3 monitors.
No, what we do is we just go around the whole room and we steal monitors and computers.
Grid gaming.
That's what it is that there's usually another class.
What division are you in? Tech Grid Gaming, what division are you in? Because it depends on if you're like open division, all service, or middle school.
And you can't really guess how many points it's going to take. There's no way to actually know.
You need to be in the top 25% of teams.
And then if middle school, you got to be in the top 50% from round 1, 2, and 3 cumulative scores.
Which is not difficult.
It was not difficult our first year, and we were trash our first year.
Service is the same. It's the top 25%. Or actually, it's 25% in your category, right?
I think it's top 25, but I think there's 5 wildcards.
I believe for all service, it'll be the top 25% in each individual category, but I can double check.
The average total points to advance past state platinum.
Okay, so for all service, it's going to be top 25 in tiers. So that's going to be the overall platinum tier, overall gold tier, overall silver tier, and then you're going to have your category wildcards. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be, I think, 5 per division. So if you are in, let's say, Air Force RDC, and somehow nobody in Air Force RDC on the top 25%, they would pull the category wildcard. So if there were 5, it would be the first or the top 5 teams in Air Force, and those teams would advance to semifinals.
I thought it'd be the top 25% of each tier of each category.
Right. That is exactly how it works, as far as I understand it. The
the way that the website says it's this top 25% in tier.
Right.
But
so the
for round 2 to round
3,
it says 30% of each category.
25% of platinum, gold, and silver, and then the top 6 teams of each category.
Oh wow, that is really.
So it's top 25% overall, and then you have the 6 wild cards. That's going to be this top 6 teams per division. So Air Force RDC, Army JRDC, Navy JRDC, Marine Corps JRDC, Naval Sea Cadets, Civil Air Patrol.
Whoever in Civil Patrol sucks.
Yeah, can we get a shout out for that Naval Sea Cadet team just killing it this year? Like,
all right. How can we practice for round 3?
Don't
study what you missed in round 2.
Well, good thing with the Vaughn categories are out. Basically, what I would recommend is, honestly, just I don't know. It's kind of hard to think. Go through like last year's funnel categories for certain things and like try to research more in depth in those areas. We have them in the archives, so feel free to download those out.
I can't speak for Windows, but Linux round 3, it's going to be more emphasis on critical services and local policies, and everything else is going to stay the same.
Yeah, so with critical service,
a little bit with those.
Yeah,
not
so
as much as Linux.
So with critical service, like for Linux, what's really important with is the way you Google how to secure it, right? If you were like best options for OpenSSH, no, you want to Google how to harden OpenSSH on Ubuntu or how to harden OpenSSH, because that's where I found like some really good guides that helped me potentially get you points in future competitions, which have helped me in the past.
I would recommend... And I would say,
go ahead.
I would say it's pretty much like the same thing for Windows. For Windows Server, if you have a critical service, or Windows in general, if you have a critical service, you want to be looking in not only just like how to secure it, but also how to secure it in PowerShell. Because there's a bunch of options that are specifically in PowerShell that you don't get in the normal like server configurator.
Yeah, PowerShell is extremely useful. If you don't know it, learn it. You will use it.
There's 4 people in the general chat.
One of them's live streaming some scripts. Someone should just screenshot the scripts and copy them.
Is there any way to see what points we missed for previous rounds? Who's gonna tell him?
No.
Not in the way you'd like. There's volume categories, but that's really it.
Oh, don't forget Cisco is going to be out of 100 points this round, so for open and all service.
Can't wait.
Yes.
So I'd get your Cisco guy to start preparing for that.
Honestly, should have been preparing already.
Oh yeah, that is true. But
hey Callie, hey Weeb, hey anybody in here who's like top 100.
Yes, hello.
How do teams score so high? Do they use scripts? If so, how would you go about making them?
So you make your own scripts by looking how to configure it by command line, and then you automate it. And yeah.
And
aren't necessary to score high.
No.
Like a script is only as good as like how good you are, right? Like I don't use scripts. Well, okay, I use mostly like diagnostic scripts, but personally, I think if you go through and look at everything yourself, you might catch things better. Scripts are just optional, and it's up to you.
Yeah, and to build off that, it's basically it's just a giant shortcut, but it still takes time to make, and and you still need to know what you're putting into it.
One good point somebody brought up a while ago when I was discussing it with them was that a lot of the time that you spend in scripting could be put towards practicing your manual abilities, which is completely true. I personally would just work on a script as you learn the manual process. So just, whenever you learn something. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. All right, Weeb, you think you're cute? All right, I'm done.
What?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, he didn't say anything.
Yeah, he didn't say anything.
I mean, for scripting, I can't really speak for Linux because I don't really main Linux, but I would say the most beneficial thing if you are going to get into scripting is, first off, understanding how to do group policy and how to automate it, and that's mainly going to be through LGPO. And we already have
tutorial on CP Discord
on the CP Discord that you can watch, and there's also, I think, links and resources for some of the public GPOs that are already out there.
Yeah.
If you do want to get into Linux scripting, just replace like the configuration files. That's just the easiest way to do everything.
Yeah, you could do set and stuff, but like that's honestly, it's a lot for me. It's a lot more work than it's a lot more work than it's worth. Where you could just copy in the files that are perfect, and you know exactly what's happening.
How to motivate team to study. Most of my other team members don't seem to want to put in the effort to prepare for the upcoming rounds. Do they want to go to nationals?
I'll tell you how to motivate them. Find a school and make them your competition school, and just basically trash talk each other until you're like motivated enough to win.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Just trash talk your own team. That's also a good motivator.
Oh yeah, we do that all the time.
Yeah.
I trash talked Artist into spending like a ton of time in the past couple weeks on this.
What do you think is so important about PowerShell?
It
It's
is very
powerful.
That's a
useful.
broad question.
It's very useful in administration for Windows. It has so many capabilities.
It's basically like popping open the Windows terminal almost. I mean, that's basically the whole point of it. So any the utilities of Linux terminal is basically PowerShell or PowerShell's
Kind of
equivalent.
endless, actually.
Yeah, and the nice thing about PowerShell, most people don't know this, it's cross-platform. You can use it on Linux too. So if you are looking to make a cross-platform script, and you know PowerShell and like the .NET framework, just do it in PowerShell.
But that involves liking the .NET framework.
Hmm?
That involves liking the .NET framework.
.NET
I
Core
don't think it's possible.
is fantastic.
It's gonna be so. Do we know what images there will be for state next week? Yes, CyberPatriot publishes all the images leading up to semifinals. It'll be the same 3, except Ubuntu is going to be 16, not 14.
Yep.
So a huge difference between 14 and 16? I haven't found any.
There is some with like System D and like System CTL, but not that big of a difference.
The packages list as well, I believe, is the difference. There's going to be more support for newer versions, like more packages and things.
Overall, there's not that much, but I don't think there will be any issues from how you normally do on 14 instead of 16. It's going to feel about the same.
Is 18 semifinals, by the way?
No.
I don't think there is 18 this year.
Nope.
Finals is still 16.
Yikes.
Yep.
Big sad.
But then you got Server 2019.
In 2019, the only big difference is going to be the web interface you have to secure. So
I haven't even looked at 2019 ever, so we'll see how that goes.
I haven't touched it.
You should make a tutorial for the CyberPatriot YouTube channel, Weeb, on Server 2019 security. Everyone would be very grateful.
It'll be 2 seconds long.
And it'll just be
Quick
a
website secure.
clip of an anime.
Importing a group policy.
That's yes. Do you know if the DoD ones cover it, because they have a 2019 policy? So.
DoD honestly isn't that good. It's better to take DoD as a template and then just modify it to your liking.
Right. I just wondered if they covered the new features.
Who uses LGPO though?
A lot of people, because it's actually pretty decent, even though I don't use it. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Hi, I'm Paul, and I use registry keys. And then when I
use
try to
registry
find
keys
something else,
I'm
not going to be able to find it because nobody has written an article on how to do registry key biometric.
Do colleagues view CyberPatriot as valuable extracurricular activity for CS majors?
Flex.
So yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't really flex.
No, they don't.
About me being in CyberPatriot, because I mean, did your team do well or did it like be trash? It kind of depends on that mainly.
Yeah.
Here's my favorite question: what critical services do you expect for this round?
We can talk about that.
No, we can.
Well,
yeah,
okay.
It's just predictions.
Nobody knows. As long as nobody specifically cites any critical services from any of the previous years, you're fine.
So, well, actually, Paul, do you want to talk about Windows?
I don't matter to
Hypervisor
me.
2016, easy critical service.
I feel like for Windows they're gonna do FTP and IIS.
Then for Ubuntu, it'll probably be FTP or Samba.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. FTP, from what I recall, is kind of in depth on securing in Ubuntu.
It'll just be pure FTPD or
No, it's Samba. Samba's in depth.
VS FTPD. That might be one, but it's most likely just pure FTPD or Samba.
How do you score better on the Cisco quizzes? Toasty's
Google.
Cisco guide.
Google.
Also Google.
If you
Toasty's Cisco guide is pretty good too.
Put in the time to find where each question is actually answered, you should get a pretty high score.
We thought that last round, and we had our Cisco guy write a 3-page report where he documented every answer on why it was correct and every other answer on why it was incorrect, and he did not score perfect, unfortunately. So
yeah, my team got 6.
That is
I took screenshots.
Strategy,
Nice
I took
flex.
screenshots
That's
of
only
every
if
piece.
he can finish all the packet tracer in an hour and then spend 5 hours on the quiz.
I told him to do that, but
No, Cisco.
hey, Lighthouse. But yeah, I mean he put in the effort, so you know.
For server, for round 3, we said we predicted IIS web server.
Or FTP. They may do just FTP on server and do nothing on Windows 10.
Well, do you think they would do like FTP like on an independent client like FileZilla, or do you think they would just do SMB server? Because I think SMB server is more reasonable.
They might do FileZilla. I mean, I could see them doing that.
Yeah. And I feel like SMB would probably go first before FTP, because FTP could be like semifinals, but SMB would probably be before.
All right, we got Samuel in. Hardest image to improve on. Also, what resources other than Google do you recommend to gain a deeper knowledge on harder vulnerabilities? Hardest image to improve on, in my opinion, is Debian, because you get it one round.
Yeah. Also, Debian's usually a pain in the butt.
How is Debian much different from doing Ubuntu?
It's not.
Yeah, it really isn't.
I mean, did you
a
see
GUI.
the average Debian scores last year?
Yes, I believe it was
I'll give an
22.
example. It's the same vulnerabilities, just presented in a different way. So, for example, in Debian, if LightDM isn't the login manager anymore, how do you turn off the guest account? It's stuff like that, but it's the same vulnerability categories. You just take a different approach to it.
And nobody's used to it. They haven't used it in any other round for us, especially for the newer people. Like my team has, or not my team, my school has like 10 new people, and they have no experience in it, and they're just gonna come up on Debian and be like, "What is this?" Why is there a picture of an engine?
Because the theme is, I don't know, cars, engines.
It is yeah, engines.
Not anymore.
We need to get into engines, scoring engines.
Yeah, let's talk about Otis. The release of Otis. How has everybody's experience been with Otis so far? If anyone's used to, I know Weep has. I thought.
Hello.
How is your experience with Otis?
Are there any good resources for IIS? Do they have a Sis benchmark for IIS?
Yeah, there is a benchmark on it, and it should get you a good few points.
Oh, IIS. I'd recommend looking into these STIGs for IIS. They're extensive, but Once you learn how to read them, they're really helpful.
Explain what STIGs are.
STIGs are security technical implementation guides. Basically, they're standards that Department of Defense wants to have their computers at, and they are really helpful for getting a good baseline for what you want your things to actually be secured at. So.
All right.
Are you guys competing Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
Probably Friday.
Friday.
Saturday.
Paul's competing Sunday.
Yeah.
Can't do that for semis.
Yeah, we're gonna compete
Got 'em.
Saturday. We literally can't compete Friday. And Saturday, the reason we don't compete Saturday is I work, so we're gonna have to do it like Saturday morning, which is just ugh.
No, I got interviews on Saturday, so I can't compete Saturday. So.
On Friday, you know, school, the computers we use are being used by classes, and after school, I'm working. And then Saturday, I work the night. And Sunday, I'm always off, so it's, you know, super easy to do competition.
We're flexing scores now. Or flexing internet speed.
Oh. I mean, my home internet speed is just trash, but the schools have good internet speed.
Yeah, I think your internet speed does not matter in later rounds. Well, sort of, but like it's not the deciding factor like in R1.
Yeah. Speed this round won't matter that much. It's actually having more knowledge and more skill.
Yo, that was actually crazy. You tiebreakered with somebody. Like, time? Versus that, I've never seen that before.
Oh, you mean 2497?
Yeah, first and
How does
second
that work?
place. That was crazy.
Oh, you mean like how
Time, right? Time
for
time
round
got you
2?
first. Yeah. No, time got you. Wait. Oh yeah. Was it just round 2, or was it total?
Yeah, just round 2.
Just round 2.
Just round 2. Time got my team first.
That's pretty cool.
Time got you second.
No,
Oh, and then
we're
first.
talking about plus Cisco.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And then I dropped a few places because cumulative scores.
It is fine.
I greatly improved Cisco. And I'm hoping I won't drop this round for Cisco, but we'll see.
Jeez, or Emma, you have a 1.5 gigabit connection. Christ.
Somebody has me beat finally. Feels bad.
I'm taking this test right now, but it's just because it's gonna be slow because I have a bad Wi-Fi card.
I'm gonna walk up to the school.
What the heck?
Jack in to the.
Did I just say GBPS? Okay then. This person just flexing.
It's Emma. I've always considered putting an antenna on top of my school and then just, you know, putting another one on top of my house.
What do you mean, Austin? IMAC, you put up a good fight in round 2. You had me scared to the end. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I just missed all the dumb stuff. Guarantee it. That's how it usually goes.
Cisco is going to be really deciding on making nationals or not.
It is.
Because of
Debian well.
Oh yeah, Debian.
Debian.
Someone can get good Debian. I mean, most teams aren't going to get it, so if you start preparing Debian, not even now, but like a long time ago.
Wow, someone beat Emma with ping. Let's go.
I live like an egg throwing distance from the data center, so.
Egg throwing.
Debian.
I will flex my ping voice.
Debian.
Oh, 3 ping. Wow.
Got him.
That's a flex if I've ever seen one.
Indeed.
All right. What are we gonna talk about now? You excited to just grind out configurations all the time? How many of you guys are making?
Or what?
How many of you are scripting this round?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
making some scripts.
Yeah.
Imagine using scripts in round 3. Couldn't be me.
Yeah.
Hey, Callie, you do know that you have to score in like the top 25% to continue on, right?
Yeah, that's not
That's
a big
pretty
deal.
easy.
It's
Yeah, you
not
don't
hard to
really
do
need
in
scripts.
6 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours, that's... I mean, I can do everything my scripts do. It just doesn't... It isn't as fast.
Should fix that.
That's what... I'm hoping this round will help my team practice by hand.
Here's my issue with Linux scripts, right? Not so much on Windows, but in Linux, it's more about things that you notice that are out of place. And so if you use scripts, it's going to be less likely that you just come across those things.
Maybe.
Yes.
Linux and Windows. Config is pretty similar. It's just doing config.
Is there a list of of general categories of vulnerabilities to look for? I'm still very confused on what sort of vulnerabilities to look for.
Hey, you should do what Shiversoft did and look at all of the man pages for all the things on Ubuntu,
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
and then read all of them. See, you'll get things.
You will definitely discover some things through that process, but it's not a complete list. There also, a lot of the man pages have links to like 10 different files in it, and the man page will be like 3,000 lines when it only needs to be like 100. And yeah, it gets pretty brutal. Like the sudoers man page is ridiculous.
Oh, geez. Oh, actually, I remember reading that. That one's okay.
Do you think you got anything useful out of doing that, though?
Yeah, I learned a lot about Linux. I didn't know basically anything about Linux, and I do.
Oh yeah,
Well,
then what
how
does
much
sudo
time?
do?
Yeah, what does sudo do, huh?
It elevates your privilege ID temporarily. Well, it runs the command under a different user ID.
Yeah, because SU ID.
Exactly. Does port blocking ever count as vuln, like blocking 139 for Windows, for example?
You can't answer that without cheating.
Yeah, we can't really.
I would just say if you think that there is a security implication behind an action, take it.
How do you find prohibited files?
Control F.
I mean, it varies by operating system, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would recommend using everything for Windows. It's a void tool, so.
You want to use everything you can.
Hey.
I don't think that's what he meant. I mean, default Windows search is also decent, but yeah, no, everything's probably more robust. It has better indexing and it's faster. But I don't know.
Windows search is kind of bad.
I don't think I've taught my team members about everything, so.
Quinn asks when CyberPatriot will release new training materials. Believe it or not, they released new training materials last year, and they are just as
Similar.
useful
Yes.
as before.
Of course.
They are equal usefulness.
I wonder how many points you can get with just the training modules.
16.
100.
16.
Well, obviously, the number of points set is the maximum score. Obviously,
Yeah, that's what it is.
because all of them had access to that resources.
I really hope they do use some like 0 days in semis.
That'd be amazing.
They make the images before the season even starts, as far as I know. The 0 day would have been patched.
They have
I don't think so. No. Pretty sure they make it like a month before the round.
Do they have WannaCry on one of those? That'd be amazing.
That
No,
would
it
be
would
really
not.
dangerous. Yeah.
That's too risky, CyberPatriot.
That's true.
Dropping Eternal Blue into a live network is like, why?
Is there any official CyberPatriot practice resources for Windows and server like there is for Linux and networking?
No,
On Netacad, no.
That's why there's a disparity between images and Cisco. A noticeable difference.
A lot of people are working towards making more resources available to the public, like Toasty, for example.
Like you.
No. I'm not working towards anything like that.
Shiversoft, will we be seeing one of your teams at Nats this year?
I don't know. Hey man, I can't see the future. So, I don't know is my best answer.
That's reasonable. They will never release new training materials or anything to help any of us. I mean, the training materials, if you actually think about it, are pretty decent for someone who just walked in and has never touched anything like that before.
Hey, actually, there are existing things for Linux. There's that course that they offer for free.
That course is more
Linux is easier.
That's more over like what Linux is and some commands you can use in it. Sort of like what Shiversoft did with the man pages.
I mean, it's helpful.
Well, actually, that's not true because what I did with the man pages, I evaluated based off of security, so it wouldn't really. Like, also, I did not learn a lot of commands from it. Like, I still probably couldn't use sed without the API reference, and I couldn't, do any of that. But
sed is literally just regex.
Right.
What do you guys think of team 0169?
Ooh. They are leaders.
That says 1069, so.
Oh yeah, 1069. Let's see who.
1069.
They're not a team.
Yeah, they don't exist.
They don't?
No, they don't.
Oh yeah, 1069 does not exist.
Yeah,
really?
so.
The actual training modules go through a lot. My only the only thing I would say about it is that they should focus more on, or they should pretty much involve group policy editors.
0169.
All right.
Because you could probably clear round 2 with the security modules and a little bit of Googling. So, well, for Windows at least.
Hey, someone who's been to Nats, what are the major differences between normal rounds and Nats?
No scripts at Nats.
No scripts at Nats. Window or you're gonna have more images or
Yes.
Yeah, you have more images in
Yeah.
half the amount of time.
The actual like VM competition is separate from Cisco. A lot more stress. You have a red team.
Hey, the red team
And everyone
had
needs to know
zero
what they're
stress.
doing.
Easy.
I don't want to give it out too much because then like CyberPatriot's gonna be like isekai me. But
No,
Yes.
state awards do not mean advancement.
They're just paper that you get for, hey, you were first in your state. Good job.
you can also use
Actually, state
those
awards do
on your
mean
college resumes.
First place in the state means advancement to semis.
Yeah, that is true. I'm not sure that isn't for all service, but that is for open.
Yes.
If I made a
Open, it's
program
Wait, is
the
it
like
actually?
top 3 for open. It's the top 3 in each state. For all service, it's the top 3 in each state, regardless of category. It's the same thing.
What?
No, it's
for
just
I thought it
first.
was top 6 per actual category for all
That's
service.
that's wild cards.
Oh. All right.
Which
So
wild
if you don't make the top 25% cut in all service, you have the top 3 per state and you have the top 6 per category.
Top 3
What?
per state. It's top.
I'm
it's,
pretty
it's
sure it's
first.
top 1.
It's number 1. I was
Okay.
last year. I was the only Platinum Tennessee team at semis.
All right.
Oof.
So I guess top 1. So there's 7 chances if you not make the top 25% cut.
I mean, like, yeah, there's a certain tier that definitely doesn't make the 25% cut in all service.
If I made a program like Malwarebytes instead of a script, would that be allowed at Nats?
No.
Nothing.
Well,
you
yes.
can bring paper, but
see,
that's it.
it needs to be reasonably public, as in, like, well known. So I doubt your thing will be well known.
Yeah, and you can't bring it in, but you can
At least that's what
get
I
something
think.
offline, right? So someone who actually has Nats experience really has to answer that.
What's
I
the
mean,
question?
If you bring in
the
an actual
question was, yeah.
instead of a script, can you use it at Nats?
Repeat one more time.
Can you use programs that you make?
Okay, so when you're going to
think no.
Nats, you can submit websites. Most likely, if it's something that you made yourself, it's gonna be denied. But if it's something like a public GitHub program, like I don't know, like Black Viper, they would most likely accept Black Viper. But if it's something you made, it would most likely get denied. So if you want to, you can write it or you can type it out and print it and then retype it during NAT competition. But that's also going to waste a lot of time that you can be using to actually lock down your machines.
What is Black Viper? Could you explain that?
It has all the services on Windows, like 10, 7, 8, and it just lists all of them, what they are, and if you should disable or enable them.
Yes.
And they have default templates that secure a lot of it. Well, not really secure, but just turn off certain ones, turn on other ones. For example, when you run it by default, I think it turns off the Xbox game script. I think remote registry, possibly other stuff like that. You can make custom templates. I still haven't like gotten down to mastering how to do it exactly, but I usually run it by default and then go in and actually nitpick the actual services. But yeah.
I just use their CSV because you can script that as well. But
Right.
What resource limitations are there at Nats?
You can bring anything you want in paper, but there is only 10 websites that you can request from or for your team.
So if you
And
request a
then
website,
Actually,
it
it's
only
worth
for the
noting that
team?
the whitelist is universal, so you actually have access to all the websites that the teams requested, but it's kind of a gamble. Like, you don't want to depend on another team to whitelist a website you need, but you're not limited to just 10. Hypothetically, you have access to like 120 or like 250 different websites.
I don't
you-
think you can unblock Google Docs or Google Drive. I mean, I didn't really test it, but I think they would probably flag you if you start using Google Drive and start downloading your scripts.
They are very aware of what is what.
100%. They're gonna block anything that you can like file hosting services or like paste bin or any forums or anything. They're not gonna let that.
So
Or-
like,
Also,
I think they have some of
can,
it.
like, even if you can get around, you think you can get around it. No, you can't. Just don't try bad stuff.
One of my friends just messaged me. Yeah, in the rulebooks, it specifically said that you can't just go on your Google Drive. Well, not like Google Drive specifically, but you can't just go on Google Drive and download your scripts. You have to request what you want unblocked, and it has to be like public resources. So
Yeah, you have to
Anyway,
submit a request list like a month in advance or something. I don't remember the details.
so
All right.
can you request Stack Overflow to be unblocked?
Yes.
I think so.
Paste your scripted Stack Overflow.
But wouldn't it get taken
They
down
will
in like a
notice that.
second?
hey,
That's
why
why you
aren't
do it like
there
2 minutes
random-
before that competition.
No, just like compile your script as an exe and then add a random salter in there, so that way if they try and like check it, it's gonna be like, oh no, it's just a random program.
Well, they check the sites uses it, so nice.
Shh, just install VPN.
All right then.
That'd be fun to explain if Red Team got onto your image while you're downloading the program.
Oh, you can't use Google Drive at all at nationals. For normal competition, it's fine. It's just nationals. They want you to actually be like showing the skills that you have and not just like using scripts. So
You should. Y'all have any software things you recommend to find vulnerabilities on the system? I mean, there isn't just like a thing for.
Is Sys internal suite? Can someone explain what that is?
It's just a bunch of advanced, I guess, tools to use on Windows. Like, I believe one of them is like TCP Viewer or something. A lot of them are just basically like extensions of some of the inner stuff in Windows, like power user stuff. There's a lot of useful ones actually. I'm sure somebody can reference specific ones. I can't think of them right now. One of them allows you to blue screen. That's something I know. Like manually blue screen, but that's not useful.
Oh.
Shiversoft.
What?
Check DM.
Oh.
Y'all have any other questions based on like on critical services or that in general? Or we can start ranting about engines now.
Alright.
Hey, at least there is an engine for Linux now.
Any
Well...
tips
Yeah,
on tips on how to I guess search things to search for to secure critical services? I think someone mentioned like PowerShell earlier.
Nice typing.
Hey. Alright. How many hours a week should one study to sufficiently prepare for upcoming rounds? There is no answer, because if you have extra time, you should be putting it towards preparing. And in fact, I would say that you're putting more than just your extra time towards CyberPatriot if you want to actually do well. It also depends on your prior experience and your team's experience. Some teams do not need as much practice as others.
Like Callie's.
What are we talking about? Wasn't paying attention.
Practice time.
Practice time? My team actually doesn't have much actual dedicated practice. It's just work whenever you feel like.
That's the kind of vibe I get from most of the successful teams, actually. It's very self-motivated.
And it's mostly my side, but my team does do a good amount of work. Like at lunch, usually we will just chill and work on stuff like checklist.
That's some dedication.
Unity. Securing a critical service does mean just configuring it, but configuring the security options, essentially. Anything that has some sort of security implication is fair game. So, encryption, that kind of thing. Changing the default port, because if your network gets port scanned, they're going to immediately try to flag any of the common ports and associate them with the services that run default on those ports. And so if you change the default port, it's a little bit harder to identify the service. It's not that much harder because a lot of services will give you responses based off the type of service it is, but
yeah, you can still do banner grabbing, which is why generally for some services you want to change the default welcome banner. Like I think with FileZilla or something, you can change the welcome banner to make it harder to do a banner grabbing.
Right. Hence why those banners are actually scored, because they do actually have a security implication. Well, not necessarily scored, but can be scored. Banner grabbing is exactly what we described. Essentially, you scan the network and query all of the open ports and look for response banners, like welcome banners, saying like, oh, log in to SSH, for example, or log into this or log into that. And then you can identify what the port is actually running, and you have more information on how to attack it, because certain services are vulnerable to certain exploits, things like that. Also, banners will sometimes have the version number of the software, and then you can just look up CVEs past that. There's all sorts of different things that you can do to attack services like that, and so it's very good to basically obfuscate as much information as you can from the network, because you don't want people to be able to identify what you're running. If they don't know what to attack, it's going to be a lot harder to know how to attack.
How would you go about changing the port number?
Depends on the critical service, usually the configuration file. Linux, at least.
Pick your favorite meme port and set it to it.
I think he was asking about process, and that's mostly really just dependent on what you're trying to secure.
And you can easily Google it and find it in about 5 seconds for each service.
Also keep in mind that with CyberPatriot, they generally are not checking if your service is working, as far as I know. So if your configuration file doesn't exactly work correctly, it doesn't really matter. NATS, though, I believe is different. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And it's probably not good to get in the habit of, oh, if it scores but it breaks, it's fine. It's not a good idea.
That's true. My point was just basically that even if you run into issues with it, I would still change it.
I want to hear more about this iPad challenge.
Oh, I think they stopped it in CyberPatriot 9, but it was basically like you had to do some basic iPad tasks, like you're supposed to download a VPN and set it up, and then do some other stuff. They broke, the Apple ID wouldn't work, so they just dropped the challenge, and I was really sad because that's what I was going to do.
Really easy.
It looked really easy. It was like set up a VPN and then like download like 2 apps or something and like turn off some settings or whatever. It looked really easy.
But was it easy?
Considering that the Apple ID didn't work, so we couldn't download anything. Nah.
Panel's been up an hour. Wow.
Very nice.
Very nice.
I feel like ordering Domino's. What do you guys think?
What if we call your local Domino's and have it come to one of our houses?
What?
Well, since you probably live far away from us, or you probably live far away from each other geographically, call someone else's local Domino's and have it come to your house.
I'm so confused what you just said.
Never mind.
What should you do if your scoring engine doesn't work? The Linux one. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm Mac. I'll help you whenever we're done with the panel.
Okay.
It's probably not that complicated, but I don't know because I've never, I'm brand new to React, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even open that kind of problem.
Ask the creator. He's in the chat with you.
Yeah. Pepsi Poo, or however you say that.
Yeah. That person.
How does the actual competition scenario go? Because I know it's different when you have to try and keep an active attacker out for nationals. We still have people.
I'm gonna go grab breakfast. I'll be right back.
All right. What are good resources for critical services server roles? Group policies, PowerShell. For Linux, configuration files. Get a list.
Well, roles are just like IIS and all that, so Sis, even just Sis will be very useful in a lot of that stuff.
Basically, think of every critical service that you can and make a ton of offline resources for it and checklists and just put time into it, honestly. Make your own resources.
Are there usually I don't know much about this, but are there usually group policies for Windows critical services?
There can be.
For RDP.
Yeah, like also admin templates exist out there for a lot of the group policies. Admin templates are essentially just ways for the group policy editor to map registry keys or like other types of settings and scripts. So if you have the admin templates all the time, you can actually create group policy objects to apply like custom group policies as well. So like you could set up your own policies essentially for other services depending on what it is. that safest bet though is to either do it by hand or just PowerShell it. How to cheat, please.
Cubed, I see you.
Maybe you should not cheat.
I know Cube's team number. We can get him banned now. Let's go, boys.
Oh yeah.
I see. We have the Otis person on now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hi, I made Otis ask questions.
Oh, Callie, you made Otis. Okay. Hey,
Yeah,
Callie,
of course.
how's
Of course, that I made that.
go into the process of how you made the engine? I'm
Oh,
interested.
so C++ and JavaScript, you know, all
Oh.
that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I assume the websites in C++ and the engines in JavaScript.
Yes.
You know it.
Okay.
What other method would there be?
Scripting in Node.js.
Hey, we just started that, and it took us.
Don't.
What? I want to hear.
All right. So React is a framework for Node, for the front end, and it took us 2.5 hours to figure out how to change the color of the input text.
Okay, to be fair, it was a really, really like obscure option.
Yeah, it was like a bunch of dumb BS with the themes, the material
We
UI
we,
themes.
we learned a lot during the process, though. Okay.
Yeah.
What if you wanted to change the highlight of the color? Or the highlight of the text?
It's just not possible. Nobody's ever done it, so it's just not possible.
Yep, no one's ever done it.
Is that what your excuse is gonna be? No one's ever done it?
Yeah.
Yep.
No one's ever done it.
Has anyone ever beaten round 3 100%? Like,
I don't know.
Or 100 on any image.
Yes.
I know 100, yeah, easily. There are
100's
people,
easy.
People got hundreds on semis too.
Yeah.
but like on all 3 images, has anyone ever gotten 300 points?
For state, I think there was 2, or at least maybe 3. I don't know.
All right,
I'm not
guys, I
sure.
gotta head out. So,
But not perfect score in terms
I'm
of
gonna bounce.
also Cisco.
Yep.
See you.
See ya.
Don't get too wild up in here. Make sure to go over. Well, I'm not really sure if there's anything else to go over. It's gonna be a short panel. All right.
Wait, what if you just shut down all ports on your machine, and then the red team can't get in?
Does not really
You get
work.
scored for what services are up. So
And, you know, CyberPatriot has to score.
yeah.
So you can't really block everything and ruin your internet connection. So even if you did that for like 5 minutes and then slowly open ports back, you're still gonna just be dead. I don't know how to put that correctly.
Yeah, that's how you get disqualified.
The
That would be
Empire
funny to
Strikes
see
Back.
though. So what
What?
would they do
Just
if you did that?
take the botnet you've been saving since you started CyberPatriot, and then just no more internet.
Yeah, can I get this website unblocked? It's just a default website. No. Don't worry about it.
I feel like you would actually do that, Weeb.
Too much effort.
Ah, of course.
Just write your own eternal blue exploit on the network. Start taking out little laptops everywhere.
Just hack into the scoring server to give yourself 100%.
Oh, you probably knowing them, you probably don't need to hack the server. Just hack your client.
That is true.
No hacking clients. That's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Don't do it.
Just add into every single service you have in there that you need a Metasploit version that has not come out yet, and then they can't get in.
Run updates.
Run all the services on the same port.
I mean, in theory, what you could do is block or figure out what IP address like CyberPatriot scores from, and then block all other IP addresses.
That would be too hard.
Until they just, VPN to the scoring server to attack you.
I'm looking at the image scores for state round last year. Not a perfect score. The highest was 282.
Ooh.
I thought there was one.
Oof. In the spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, state round. Oh my gosh.
I need to see on my team.
Crappy round. Dude, state round was tough. Oh my.
See what the highest Cisco score was.
Alright, Paul, you have to clear state round or else
Does
you're
it
going to
say
be
the
promoted.
individual images?
If I do clear state round, will you be proud? I don't think I will, but
you can keep your temp mod, but
who is higher, mod or admin?
Mod, obviously.
Actually, it's Linux helper.
Temp mod is above everyone.
Linux helper's highest.
Linux helper.
Yeah, if you ever need help, just ping Matthew. He's the only person on the server who's willing.
Oh, did I see table flip? That's funny. Team table flip. That was great.
Only downside to being the only active Linux helper is that nobody else can answer my questions.
What's your question?
Whenever I have Linux questions.
No.
If you actually have too difficult of a question, people usually just meme you.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, there's really only one answer to any question you have, and it's RMRF, because that's the original response. Nobody's ever thought of that before. You're hearing it first. If you ever have a question you want to answer, it's RMRF.
So what even is that? Can you explain in depth?
Basically, it secures your entire image, and it's one command.
Wow.
I see.
Basically,
how do I do it on Windows?
The principle is that if there's nothing to secure, it's completely secure. On Windows, it is actually two commands. You have to take own, and then you can just delete everything.
What if you just do it the real way, by using a magnet?
Oh yeah, or just a drill right through your computer.
Yes, I'm gonna drill the VMDK.
No, we're just talking about the actual.
You don't want to secure your actual image. Applying security principles in real life is just not something people do. Come on.
Okay, so you know how Windows subsystem for Linux, you can go onto the drive, going through Mount C, and you can go.
Yes.
You can access the file system for the Windows subsystem, in somewhere in your profile. You can just keep looping through. I want to try that.
Isn't there a group policy setting for that though? Clubhouse. You have something playing through your mic.
No, I don't have anything playing.
Oh, is that? Oh, there's 2 light. God damn it.
There's
Got
3.
him.
You're right. Hold on, let me find this stupid delete thing so I can meme on you.
Oh yeah, actually, Ubuntu subsystem is a great way to practice Ubuntu. Also, like, it's a lot easier to set up than a VM. You should try using that for any of you still left.
Oh, you just have to mount the C drive then.
Oh, the Otis images.
Can you
Actually,
see
where are those?
the
Do you
slow
guys know?
down?
They're on his website, I believe. His site essentially just is a massive index. Well, massive. Just kidding. It's an index of images that people upload, and the download link is user input. So basically, everybody just rickrolls everyone, and that's it.
Okay, hey,
Nice.
I did the Rick rolling first, therefore I get the credit. So Shiversoft, your engine, is it still cross-platform?
Yeah. .NET Core, anything that is compatible with .NET Core is.
Hey,
But
Chris,
are
what do
you
want?
actually
I'm actually what?
like making, how do I put this? Actually making it support Linux and Windows scoring?
Yes.
Okay.
It supports a lot of things. One of the main things that we targeted was setting up the image automatically so that you don't have people scrambling around trying to install like Firefox and malware and iTunes and all this. You can just and set it up as a configuration option, and the engine will install it automatically when you run the installer.
See, if this actually gets done, it's going to be a pretty good engine.
Hopefully. We finally got started on the web interface, and the code sprint I'm doing this week should get the engine skeletons working, meaning we should be able to release a practice image at some point in the near future.
ETA?
No promises. That's the ETA.
Ah,
Dang.
okay.
I mean, I have an image ready, so as soon as the engine gets done.
Right.
Hey, maybe we should have Pepsipo join the panel.
Yeah, someone drag him in if he joins, so, general.
Who? Who, Pepsipo?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Callie, speaking of, you realize what started this entire engine, right? The catastrophe that happened with your Windows 10 image. I literally built the entire security model around that kind of thing.
The 100 vuln image.
Yep. How the
See, my current engine right now, it's not I wouldn't say it's very secure, but it'll be annoying to decrypt what you need to. It's irritating. It's not easy like how the other one is.
Did you obfuscate the C# code?
Yes.
What'd you use?
A bunch of things. I used this one and this one and this one and this one, and it's just very irritating altogether.
Nice.
I'd let you see it, but you could probably. It just takes more time than effort to do it.
I'll tell you the best option in any obfuscator for the .NET framework is going to be the anti-idle ASM, which essentially is going to screw up all the metadata, and it won't even be recognized as a .NET framework assembly by most decompilers. And then virtualization is supported by a lot of the more expensive ones. For example, Enigma. But Enigma, the problem with that one is that the licensing is really weird, so we can't use it personally, but I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
Enigma's actually my favorite one. And then another trick is to run like something like UPX on it. If you pack the assembly, it becomes a lot harder as well to mess with.
Hello?
100 line
Hey,
engine. What is
Pepsi
100
Poo
line
joined.
supposed to mean?
Hello.
What's up?
I'm Homer. I'll answer questions about this.
You have
That
a
was
connection
laggy.
issue.
Yeah. Ooh, that was very weird.
Yeah, there's some connection issues there.
Uh,
I thought Troy was
Okay
just
then.
connection.
oh, hold on. Give me a moment. Hello?
Yo.
What up?
Is it better?
Yes.
A bit, yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, it is better.
I'm away from home right now, so my Wi-Fi isn't very great.
Okay. Okay then.
Bruh.
.mp4.
Lagging again.
Here's one of the issues with that engine that annoys me the most. As soon as the process for the engine ends and you go to put your name back in, it's gonna say competitor name taken. So
Oh.
if you have to restart, and for, let's say, updating like the kernel for it to fully go into effect, you're gonna have to enter in a completely new name.
Yeah, kind of thought that'd be kind of a little bit of a problem because the way the engine works right now is it generates a random password for each competitor. And I was thinking of making that a custom password. I might definitely implement it in the future. And I'll be right back. Just give me a moment.
What do I do to improve Linux after going through Sis Benchmarks, especially after service hardening?
You just
LAMP?
read it.
Yeah, and so I'll definitely implement a way for the passwords and stuff in the future. Of course, the engine is still in its baby phase, but don't worry, there's much more features coming. So yeah.
Anyone got questions or something to talk about so we're not sitting here in silence?
We can talk about the engine.
I thought we were going to talk about Pepsi Poo's engine.
Exactly.
What do I do to improve Linux after going through the CIS benchmark, especially around service hardening? Example, LAMP. That pops up in later round.
Honestly, Google. I mean, you can secure them pretty I'm not saying you're gonna get them super tight secure, but you're gonna secure them a bit just by Googling how to secure a lamp stack. Hey,
I mean,
Ryan,
yeah, honestly, outside of like hardening guides, I don't really know what you would really do. It's mostly all on Google. Yeah, honestly, outside of like hardening guides, I don't really know what you would.
that echo.
Hey, someone has a video on. Turn off the video.
CIS has stuff for LAMP.
Any good tools to find folders and program files that don't belong? I mean,
PowerShell.
File Explorer. I mean, there's probably what 20 to 30 folders in there. You see, oh, common files, iTunes. Okay, iTunes shouldn't be here. Delete it, etc. Just stuff like that. I mean, you don't need a tool to tell you what's good or bad.
Wait, is he asking about like program files and program files x86?
Yes, like in those two folders, how do you find what's bad? I mean, for the most part, that's just looking through them.
Also consider
And
the fact that you're not always going to find programs in there, or like all of your programs in there. They can put them anywhere on the hard drive. I mean, I've seen things, not in CyberPatriot, but I've seen malware install itself in like app data or like weird places that it shouldn't be, and that is generally going to be where your remaining points are, not, you know, like, oh yeah, there's a .exe in the program files. Oh darn, I should have looked there. That's not what you're looking for.
There, is it possible for images, or not images, but things downloaded on the computer to not show up in like programs and features or the control panel?
If you have a rootkit.
Yeah. You can do a lot of things. I mean,
also, yeah, I'll let someone else talk.
Isn't like just the programs and features literally just linked to registry keys?
Yeah.
Programs themselves just put in their information in the registry keys. You just don't have to do that.
Yep.
You can easily just download a folder and drag it into your downloads, and boom, you got that program.
Also, one of the interesting things on the note of things that don't appear in the file services, there are only really two ways to do that, and both of them involve the kernel of the operating system, and you're going to have a driver or a kernel level service modifying the file system. If you see that in CyberPatriot, good luck, because that is a pain to mess with. Most of the time, though, your anti-rootkit software would handle something like that. So definitely run anti-rootkit. But yes, you can hide files from the file system.
I love this question from Artie in the YouTube chat. Hey Ryan, how's your sister doing?
Wow.
Hey Ryan, how's your sister doing? Alright, looks like we got no response from Ryan. So, next question.
Message retracted.
Dang. System is running in low graphics mode. Oof.
Oh man, the hamster. I think you're in some deep stuff there.
Fortunately, I cannot help with the images. I did not make them. Feels bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the images that are uploaded to the Otis engine, I didn't make them. Just that's the nature of public engine services, I guess. So I can't really help them. I'll probably be taking down the broken images, but if an image is broken, please DM me because I'll probably just take it down.
100 line engine isn't even an image, though. By the way, like on your site.
It?
No, it's not an image.
What is it?
You should probably
click the download link. Nothing happens.
The one verified that I know is working is Konoha by G2O, and he's working on another image. But yeah, I'll be taking down the ones that are not working.
Cool.
You should probably make a choice to make images private and not every image is listed up there.
Yeah,
Personally, I'm not going to be using it, but I know some people are not going to want their images to be publicly
As in
seen.
literally just hamster right now.
Well, what you can do is just have the actual zip that you have for the download, have it password protected.
Ooh,
But
true.
that change the fact that you could just open Wireshark on your device and download the engine, input the image name, and input a random name because you have the image name. And once you Wireshark it, it's going to send all of that scoring data over unencrypted, and you can easily just look through it and maybe see some new vulns you never
You want to
viewed.
know an even easier way? Attach to the process memory and Control F a command like grep in the memory, and you will literally be able to find the raw JSON data of the scoring data in memory. Unless
I
it's
mean, if
encrypted
you're
in
worried
memory.
about like making your images private, then you might as well just like develop your own engine because you're using a public engine in the first place.
Yeah.
So
Actually, I'm really against encrypting traffic.
You're lagging again.
Sorry, there seems to be basically.
Sorry, Peps. You're lagging pretty hard, man.
Yeah, so I'll just type in more.
I'll narrate for him. Yo, you can actually TTS. I wonder if it's enabled for any users on the server.
Oh god, don't TTS.
I remember the first time I saw that. That's fun. Yeah, if you ever make your own private server, enable TTS for yourself and just have fun scaring people.
Wasn't TTS once enabled on this server?
Yes.
That was fun. I feel like I abused it the most. I think I did it a lot in general chat, and it was not very happy.
Yeah, that's an interesting discussion. Okay, for a public engine, would people prefer a whitelist system or a blacklist system? For example, if somebody for a public engine community, for example, like you can share your images, etc., would people prefer a system in which the community, actually a community rating system would probably be even better. Never mind.
Whitelist.
Yeah.
I'll definitely look into that, and of course, as I said, engine's still in beta, and I'm definitely open to more features. I think community rating is probably at the top of my list right now, and then whitelist. As for private, I'm probably not going to implement that. I made the I made the engine open source, so anyone can run their own instance of the backend and front end and client. So if you do want private images, you can do that, go for it. But for me, I think that the main website for Otis is going to be all public images.
Okay, fair.
Why does websites already use? Like, it doesn't. When you click on links, it's not the pointer; it's the select text tool.
I seems to work for most people. I think. Wait, what?
You just
I'm
need
in
like
Firefox.
mouse design.
Firefox?
Yeah, Firefox and Linux.
It happens on Chrome, on Windows as well.
Yes. Basically, whenever you hover over, like if you were on the main page and you hover over scoreboard to click scoreboard, it's a select text, not click.
I'm interested.
That's odd. Seems to work for me.
Also, the scores on the get competitors doesn't work. It's just all 0.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I think it's a problem with the database.
Put together in like an hour. What do you expect?
Yeah, what's it called? If you press check scoreboard, it'll show you the actual score. It's just that on that like when you press get competitors, you're not going to see the full thing. So when you press get scoreboard, you'll see it. I'm sorry, it's just a bug right now.
You retrieve them from 2 different sections in your API. So
yeah, it's the one I'm using a Postgres database, which is basically just an SQL database that is supposed to be really fast. The problem is, I did some weird stuff to my database, and it's not very reliable. So it seems that one part of the API isn't working very well. Though I'll definitely fix it.
let's go.
What? I mean, this. Hi, I have joined.
No.
No.
Nope.
This is just like a
Nope.
discussion, right? We can discuss.
No.
No, I was gonna ask.
Everyone except for you can discuss. No, you
God
can't.
dang it! I was gonna ask what kept you from using something regular like MySQL or MariaDB.
Oh, well, first off, I've developing on Rust, especially since Rust is such a new language. There's not a lot of support for just many databases. And on top of that, I'm familiar with Postgres and I know how to manage a Postgres database.
Okay.
Might actually see it maybe at one point in a SciPat round, but I'm just familiar with Postgres and it was what was most reliable with Rust at the time. And still most reliable.
We started using MongoDB with our thing, and it's pretty sweet.
Mongo is pretty sweet. Until you have to scale it. Until you have to scale it, but you'll never get that big. Like I'm talking like hundreds of thousands of entries.
Wow,
that's a side path.
That's not very nice.
Roasted.mp4.
Well, I mean, you might, but at that point, once you're that big, you'll just make something different to store.
That's something else.
Or you'll use something different.
I think probably mainly.
Sorry.
What?
Go ahead, Pepsi.
Yeah, I think the main reason is that I'm just familiar with SQL, and I'm not familiar with NoSQL systems like MongoDB, and I feel writing raw SQL is a lot more comfortable for me anyways, and I'm not sure if there are any Rust implementation for MongoDB or any drivers for that, so I don't know. I just settled with what I had at the time, and what I still have at the time. Not that far, or not that long ago.
Hey Matthew, are you still down for a call after this?
Yeah, I'm down.
Alright, cool.
I'm down as well.
It's for confidential information, sir.
Would that information include CyberPatriot cheating?
Nope.
No.
It involves our scoring engine.
Yeah, what kind of person do you think he is?
I don't know, a person.
Shiversoft is actually one of the most integral people I can think of that I know.
Well, I don't know him, so.
Well,
I don't know, Chief.
I don't think that's what integral means.
It is not what integral means.
Most integrity.
Integral means the area under the curve.
That's an integral.
Integral means essential.
To have.
I mean, he is pretty essential.
Essential.
Yeah, there's no adjective for having integrity. You just say having integrity.
All right. Where are people asking questions for this panel?
There are no questions.
YouTube in general.
I mean, there was that 0169 question earlier, which we skipped.
We could always answer.
We could just not. I mean, I don't think they're watching anymore, so. What questions did we skip? Because I know we skipped quite a few, actually.
Actually, Most of them were repeats of the same exact topic, like just rephrasing it. A lot of them,
Yeah.
or yeah. I
Mr.
mean,
Fumbledump wants to know what your favorite color is.
My favorite color is light blue, like a sky blue, almost teal, but more blue.
I agree with that. That's a good choice.
I personally prefer more greenish blue, honestly.
Like the retired role, but with a little bit more blue and a little less green.
I like the Windows Helper role.
Yeah, that's nice. I would go more lighter. I don't know. I like light blue. Light blue is real nice.
This is such an interesting topic.
I like non-visible colors or non-recognizable.
Alessandro, I'm still here.
Non-recognizable colors, like Azure.
It was not a recognizable.
Bro, you guys like burnt sienna?
Burnt sienna.
Of course, of course. It's everyone's favorite.
Yeah, I believe blue is actually the most. Well, it's not the most common favorite color, but it is a color that most people do not have negative connotations towards.
Yeah. I think the most common favorite color would probably
also be blue, maybe. I don't know.
Why are we talking
Google,
about colors?
What's the most common favorite color?
On the website apartmenttherapy.com,
Blue.
they say the most popular color in the world is blue. Do you want a little more context?
Called it.
No.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Google.
They can't hear you. Do you want it to be able to hear you?
No.
No. Apparently yellow is the least favorite color, so they are degenerates.
Alexa, play.
Hey, Cortana.
I'm gonna get somebody with it. You always do.
There's an XKCD for that, isn't there? Yeah, I found it.
So what's probably the edgiest team in the CyberPatriot, like in just CyberPatriot? Would it be the -5 middle school?
It would be the 2 points packet tracer.
Oh yeah, that one was also pretty nice. But I think having a cumulative score of -5 is pretty edgy. Yellow has its own phobia, actually.
People are afraid of the... I feel like you're making stuff up now. Like, I feel like...
I wanna research that now. Xanthophobia, the fear of the color yellow.
Yeah.
Sufferers of xanthophobia may fear anything yellow, including the sun, daffodils, and yellow paint. In its most aggressive form, xanthophobic symptoms may include a overwhelming fear of even the phrase yellow. That does not sound fun.
There's like a phobia for everything at this point.
Yeah. You could have a phobia of safe spaces. Like...
A phobia of phobias.
Yeah. I'm scared of being scared.
Or the fear of long words is hippopotamonstrous equipedaliophobia, which is, a long word.
Sounds like you practiced that.
I practiced it. It's my most... I can't speak. Hold on.
You didn't practice that.
Shut up.
Any more questions from the YouTube chat?
All right, so our topics.
Nothing.
Did the Linux chat just get purged?
Yes.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Because a kid keeps
Yeah,
asking.
I don't care why.
Competition-specific information.
He doesn't care why, which means he doesn't care. Why?
No, I was just like
I stated it.
wondering. Yeah.
All right, let me
Okay.
think if I can think of any questions.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? We'll never know.
How?
Imagine caring.
Hey Google, how many licks does it
How
take to
would you
get to the center of
compare
a Tootsie Pop?
Stig's
An
versus
average of
CIS?
364.
Some students from Purdue actually figured it out. It takes 252 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
252 licks.
Well,
And
Purdue
I-
apparently has a
Purdue
licking machine.
students. A licking machine?
Yes, and
Yes.
the licking machine
that's-
took 364 licks on average to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. That
Hey,
is really weird machine.
Shiversoft, do you want to talk about the vulnerability scanner
Which
from
one?
Stig's?
The one we looked at?
No, the Stig's one. No, like the one from DoD.
Which one?
Like the CIS cat replacement.
Oh, I never even ran it.
Hey, why did round 2 Cisco score max at 28, or did they fix that? I don't do Cisco, so that was interesting to me.
No one maxed it.
Well,
Yeah,
actually, there was a
was kind
max
of hard.
packet tracer score. Like on the website, it said there was a max of 100.
Yeah, I
So
assume.
someone did.
I assume that both components have been maxed. However, both have not been maxed by the same team.
I mean, I don't know. I thought the quiz was kind of dumb this time, but
The quiz was easy, honestly.
I don't know. I thought a couple of the questions, which I won't mention, were kind of vague and up to interpretation.
That was true as well, but
Those are the best
it just-
questions for a cybersecurity competition. I think my least favorite questions when I did the quiz back in my year was the ones that were like multiple correct answers, and some of them were, of course, right on the borderline of, well, yeah, that could be true in some scenarios, but it could also be not true in some scenarios. What is the context of this question?
CyberPatriot's gonna pull semis, and it's just gonna be entirely choose the best answer.
I remember last year I was taking a quiz and there was actually a typo in the answer choices, so there's 2 correct answers, but it was like a single select, and I asked their help desk and they told me to figure it out myself, so I just guessed and got them.
Lovely.
Oh, maybe
Figure it
it's
out
either
yourself.
one would work.
Well, yeah, maybe. I doubt it. They like sent out a correction afterwards saying that was a typo, so I don't.
I love the ones that are literally like copy, paste into the search box. The answer's right there.
That
Somehow
is
people
very,
still
it's
miss
very
them.
satisfying.
Yeah.
Like one of the questions, if you searched it on Google, it'd just pop up in a big box the answer.
I actually learned to stay away from Google because the Neticat modules will argue with what the Google answers are, and it's just...
I always, try to find it on the Neticat modules first, and if I can't, then that's when I swap over to Google.
Is this allowed? Check the general channel.
I don't know what he's talking about, but
I think he's talking about how he does the quiz.
Who? The guy that the message that I just cleared?
I think he found like a password stealing an extension, so he doxed them for no reason.
Yeah, that needs to stay out of our chat.
Okay,
When are the results going to show? The results are already out. Check the announcements.
Yeah, Glenn has not been active for a while, so yeah.
Oh, that's what he means. Updating the bot, right?
Yeah, well. Wonder if Glenn even knows that the scores are out.
I think that bot is becoming, alright, I think that eventually there's going to become a point where we're going to have to either fork it or, get
All he
someone
has
else
to
to
do
host
is
it.
just
Someone else
like-
needs to maintain it.
Yeah. Or just add some kind of module to automate this kind of stuff through the use of a server. Like, we should be able to literally just throw a command in the chat saying, take this and override the scores with this Excel document.
Yeah, like
all
here's
he
a
has to do
direct
is
Excel
download it
document
onto
link.
that. On whatever he's running that bot on, all he has to do is download it, put the name in his JSON config, and boom, it just updated the scores.
Yeah.
So what? He doesn't have 5 minutes.
I guess not.
Then
I don't
he
know.
should let someone else have access or someone else host it.
That makes sense. That's why he won't allow it to be updated by servers, because just that's annoying. I mean, but you can host it by yourself. You just need a VPS. So, I actually think that it's a reasonable solution.
We should beg Rainbow to take over it.
Rainbow to take over the bot?
Yeah.
Or just like even have multiple people. Like, see, I get he's retired, but then you have Shiversoft, who also could manage that bot and is retired because he actually devotes his time to CyberPatriot. I'm pretty sure Glenn has nothing to do with CyberPatriot now at all.
Well, I might not have anything to do with
Yeah, not for long.
Oh, speaking of that, Mason, are we going to make any progress on that anytime soon?
Yeah, are we?
Not,
I was
not the
gonna do
scoring
it
engine.
myself. I didn't know you wanted to
Do what
be
you...
in a call with. Are you talking about the configuration?
No. Talking about our project that we're releasing in April.
Yes.
I want to start recording content
Please not this week. I want
next
to
week.
focus.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need to get on a regular schedule though, because peer review and
You're talking in a publicly posted.
Very carefully.
Okay.
And
yes.
Obfuscated. Yeah.
Talk after. Money.
I don't have time to talk after. I'm calling with Matthew.
DM me.
You've been replaced
after
by
that.
Matthew.
He's been replaced by our entire team because nobody here knows web development very well, so we are all just chopping at it slowly, attacking it with full force.
Anyways, guys, thank you for inviting me. My computer's about to die.
Do you guys have any more questions?
For Pepsi
I'm gonna
Poo?
disappear in 2 seconds. My
Do you
computer's
have
about to
any
die.
questions?
Oh,
yeah.
Well, we appreciate your engine, Pepsi Poo. We appreciate your efforts towards the engine.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions for Cali Patriot?
Yeah, of course. Any questions specifically towards me? Does anyone actually care? No.
Do you guys cheat?
No.
Oh, come on, you're supposed to say yes.
Hey, CaliPatriot, single quote, drop all tables.
Oh, no, he's running MongoDB. That's not going to work.
Oh.
Yeah, why Cali though? As Big LDP said. Why questions for Cali?
Okay, we're just not going to answer him. That's cool.
I
Huh?
mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. I don't think we need to explain.
Yeah, there's no reason to explain.
New Chrome password stealer sends stolen Mongo.
It's actually kind of interesting, but
Let's talk about it. We're secure as long as we don't enforce hacking or usage of said Trojan. I would like to look at it. I think it's an interesting topic.
Wait, were there no questions about Cisco this time?
There was.
Oh, and I just
not
happened to miss
much.
them.
I mean,
They weren't like content-specific questions. What? You're cutting out, buddy.
favorite op.
Oh.
It's got to be Temple OS.
Temple OS is pretty badass. It was written by the greatest programmer alive, so.
Is he alive?
Christ OS is pretty good.
Pretty sure
Oh,
dead.
yeah, is he still alive?
No, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
What did he die from? Cocaine overdose?
I don't know.
Are we talking about Harry Davis?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he died in 2018. August.
Didn't he die under suspicious circumstances, or?
He was struck by a train, and
Struck by a train?
Yes. And investigators could not
could not
determine if
determine.
his death was suicidal or accidental. It is a very dark turn.
That is unfortunate.
He is big
I'm
dead.
playing American Truck Simulator, right? My Xbox controller disconnected, and it just took my entire 18-wheeler over a guardrail. Because it kept going. But my trailer is only 2% damaged. Like, I just rolled over a fucking guardrail on an 18-wheeler. Jesus. Wait, is the I here? You mean iMac? The iMac noob?
No, he's
Big
not here.
LDP?
He was Oh, okay.
The I.
Yeah.
No,
I'm actually kind of happy that PepsiPoo released his engine because we can learn from him without having to take any of the public hits. So any mistakes or successes that he makes, we can just copy him. I love when things fall into place like that. Now we just gotta get Jim to release his engine, and we'll have a Windows and a Linux engine.
Is Jim?
Sorry? Is Jim?
Who is Jim?
Who is Jim? Jim is another student from Troy who made a engine from Windows. He was planning on releasing his engine. He asked if people would be interested. People said yes. I messaged him. He had me beta test, but from there he said he hasn't had time to work on the release of the engine. But it also has a web interface and public scoreboards. I do not think, though, however, it does not have a public download community thing like Pepsi's did.
Oh yeah, I remember Jim. How do you personally like it?
I didn't use it.
Oh.
I looked at the web interface, and it felt very technically demanding for the end user. So I felt like I didn't want to set up an image. Also, really, I was just going to run an image to help him test the engine. I wasn't really going to use it for practice image or anything. So basically, the user interface kind of blocked me out at a certain point. But
Oh wait, what happened to Pyraxis jump in the end?
I don't remember. It was something about money and hosting. And I offered the guy, I was like, hey, I will pay for hosting to keep this software up because it was nice. And then he was like, nah, I don't want it hosted by someone else. And then I was like, okay, let me buy it. What, like a few grand for all your effort? And he's like, no, you would have to buy the entire Pyraxis company, not just the jump software. And he wanted like hundreds of thousands for it. And I was like, bruh.
Why would you even pay just a few grand? I mean, I don't really. It's an engine, correct?
It was, yeah, but it was hundreds of hours of work that he had done. You gotta account for that.
So was it a really good engine?
I never
It
got
was-
around to
we
using
used it. We used it.
I-
We did?
We used it
It's
in
kind
our
of
year.
mediocre. It's kind of
Oh.
mediocre.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, but it was
a
the
pain.
only thing at the
It
time.
was the only thing. Well, it
I,
wasn't. It was
I don't think it was
garbage,
worth a
but
few grand.
No, it was not.
Well, it definitely
It was
wasn't
very,
worth
very
300.
You showed me, or no, you didn't. I looked up scoring engine, or I'm sorry, I looked up practice images. I brought you one, and you're like, yeah, that's Pryaxis. And then we
Oh, yeah.
started using it for one practice, couldn't get it to work, joined the Discord to ask for help, met a couple national finalists, decided they were dickheads, and I left the Discord, and you stayed in.
Yeah, I'd been in the Discord for a while.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting banned from it after he wouldn't sell it to me. And I was like, bro, you really think it's worth
I thought you
300?
were talking about this Discord.
No.
I was
This
like, you got
Discord
banned?
didn't exist yet.
Nope.
The subreddit existed, but
The
I didn't
subreddit is
know about it.
old. When did the subreddit come around anyway?
I don't know. I bet
Years
there's
ago.
a date on it.
They need like new moderators because like only 2 of them are actually
There's only
active.
one. It's the iMac new.
I'm
Little
actually the only
Toasty.
person there. Is
I mean,
Toasty a
Toasty.
moderator on there?
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Yes, he is.
If he is, does he have admin privileges? Because iMac doesn't. iMac has moderation privileges, but he can't control.
Exactly.
So like, it's kind of never gonna evolve at all, which is
Nope.
unfortunate.
Needs to be passed down to someone.
Yeah, it might be too late for that.
You can submit like, a request on like lost subreddits, can't you?
Ooh, I didn't know that.
But I think you need all the mods to be super inactive, or at least the creator. And I think Warperdudo still logs on sometimes. So
Someone should hit him up with a message and say, "Yo, it's getting out of hand." Because
What's
during
the
the
oldest
rounds,
message from this subreddit?
because
I'm just scrolling.
during the competition rounds, that subreddit is like the safe haven for cheaters, basically, which is a problem.
And there needs to be more moderators.
Not the Discord though.
Nope, Discord gets locked in.
Oh yeah, Discord, you'll get banned in anywhere from 2 seconds to 20 minutes.
Okay, Art, what's going on in the background?
Oh, that's my dog. Oh, fuck. My controller disconnected again. I almost went over another guard.
All right. We'll probably wrap this up here soon. So, because we've been streaming for about 2 hours now. If anyone has any other questions before we close it off, go ahead. We will go ahead and get through the remaining questions. If nobody asks any more questions in the next 5 minutes or so, we're gonna go ahead and call it.
Is CIS cat legal?
No. So yes, the Cat Lite is, but Cat Lite's utility is essentially nothing. However, the Syscat Pro version requires a credential to access, so it is not valid for the competition.
If you need a login or if you need to pay, then it's not allowed.
Right.
Oh my gosh, this Discord is 6 years old.
What?
This Discord is not 6 years old.
No, that's not.
Sorry,
That's
the Reddit.
Discord
Reddit
hasn't been around for
Reddit's
6
like
years.
7 years
not,
old.
yeah, Reddit's pushing on 7.
Oh, wow. Oh, October 30th, 2012. Yeah.
It's over 7. It's a month over.
Wow.
Mr. Fumpledump would like to know who is Joe.
Why did you do that?
I don't know who Joe is.
You know it's bait. Come on.
Who
Oh.
Joe is an American singer or songwriter born in 1973. He's currently 46 years old, and his full name is Joseph Louis.
All right, fair
yes.
enough.
Yes. The intellectual
Works
answer.
for me. Oh, he was asking, and then he said Joe Mama.
Yes.
I think that's a good note to end this on.
Would it
What
be
about you?
Would it be easy to implement a scoring report for, I believe, okay, so for Otis, you would probably want to just scrape the scoreboard using an API. So like, or not even an API, just invoke a request to the backend and just scrape it. Yeah.
Or just take the
Or just have the official developer make it.
Or the JSON, because the JSON for what you've gotten right is already there. You
Oh,
could
it
use
is?
that JSON. Yeah. If you
Where?
go into like where the engine is, just there's scoring underscore report.json.
Oh, inside the so for
Should
Pepsi's
we
engine.
show him a very sexy scoring report?
No, because we don't have one.
Yes, we do. It
No,
is
we don't.
very sexy.
It is not.
Well, it was sexier, but then you were like, nah, blue.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, if you do read a local JSON file, you have to disable cross-origin security.
Yeah.
So
cross-origin requests, of course.
I believe in Firefox it is just an about config setting. However, with Chrome, you have to pass a command line parameter, and I'm not sure about Internet Explorer. If you want to use any other browser, you're going to have to research for that specific browser.
Yep.
Instead of interacting with the backend, you could always just scrape the front end with like beautiful soup.
Right.
I think we're good. No more questions, it seems.
All right. I am in agreement with you. All right, guys, good stream.
All right, fun.
See everyone in the next one. Goodbye.